Hello everyone, we're back to this Let's Play kind of audiobook reading and unfunny riff of this here visual novel, Sakura Spirit. Yes, let's get on with it. Oh shit, fuck. Wait, no, I have to load the game. It's kind of silly that you even have to do that. It's a visual novel. There's no gameplay. It's like you can't lose or anything. You can just skip ahead if you want to. Well, whatever. It's not important. Yes. This time I'm gonna try being a bit more. Yes, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I never know what I'm saying. I just felt like, last time it took so very long getting anywhere, and I was just kind of being awkward and still sometimes. So this time I'm gonna try to be a bit more, fast-paced and witty, although I can never increase my own wittiness levels, of course, because that is like a natural inborn trait. But gonna be yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I can try 2 words at least. Whatever, let's just get on with it. I awoke the next morning to have the sun filtering through the wooden blinds, yawning loudly. The girls had very graciously given me an entire room to myself, and it was certainly a lot bigger than my room back home. It was still early in the morning, likely a bit before breakfast. Yeah, because, a bit before breakfast. Breakfast is such an accurate time reference point, It's like a bit... Breakfast, it's not a set point every day, I mean, isn't it likely a bit before breakfast no matter when you get up? I mean, some people get up 5 in the mornings, some people get up 5 in the afternoon, and most people probably have breakfast a bit after they get up, So it's still a bit before breakfast, Unless you skip breakfast, Maybe you're in a hurry or something, you skip breakfast, and in that case, you might have breakfast the next day, so then it's like maybe more than 24 hours before breakfast, So, you ever think of that game, eh? Or, I don't know, maybe the Japanese are very rigid about routines. Maybe they have a set breakfast time. Maybe they have, I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing. I shouldn't speak out of turn, but to me it just seems like a very silly thing to say, Anyway, I decided. What the fuck is decided? I decided to spend a short moment to gather my thoughts. It was clear that in order to learn more about my situation, I would need to pay a visit to the shrine. Maybe I could even find the answers to some of the other questions that had been lingering in the back of my mind for a while now. The fact that Machiko seemed surprisingly nervous at the mention of Tsuru's name made me wonder about their relationship. What could possibly have happened to make Machiko react like that? The apparent hostility between the villagers and the fox spirits was another issue altogether. Of course, I couldn't forget about the fact that I needed to find a way home get home as well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just as I finished gathering my thoughts, Maiko's voice resounded. Is that word? Resounded? I don't know if I've ever heard that word. It seems to me like they wanted to say resonated, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just a clueless. What's the word? I can't even remember the word to describe the thing. I am such a failure. Well, maybe it's really common. I just haven't heard it. Micah's voice resounded from the downstairs. Takane, breakfast is ready. Could you go get me some?
Sure, we'll be right there.
I quickly made my way out of the room, finding myself within one of the corridors of the mansion. And does that really serve its own screen? I mean, there have been points previously in the game where I was like, oh, we're starting this screen for a very long time here. Even when, other more important sounding stuff or things that were described were going on. That I felt were a bit more urgent to focus on, but it's like, first I was like, alright, it's a visual novel, probably doesn't have a huge budget or anything. It's like if they don't, they probably have as many screens as they can afford or see fit or whatever, but seriously, a hallway, that barely even looks much different from the previous screen. Does this deserve, is there anything really important happening in the hallway. They couldn't just be in the bedroom. Yes, I know, I'm overthinking and nitpicking and whatever. It's not even really a criticism. It's not a criticism, it's just an observation. But it's a nitpicky observation, I will admit. Once outside, it didn't take long for me to find Machiko wandering down the corridor, her lips curving into a smile when she saw me.
No need to look for me, Taka-kun. Maiko's voice reached me loud and clear.
Good morning, Machiko-san. Did you sleep well?
It was a decent sleep, although perhaps a bit lonely.
However, you seem to be getting along well with my little sister.
Takani, was it?
I was kind of losing the voice there. I don't know what's happening.
Perhaps I should consider you my rival in the quest for the heart of our dear Maiko-chan.
It sounds just a tad incesty, but I don't know.
She seems to like it. I guess I'll be stuck with that name for a while.
Oh, is it not to your liking?
Oh, well.
Perhaps you would prefer Darling instead.
You were watching us?
Indeed, it was taking you both such a long time. I grew rather curious and snuck out.
But I didn't see you at all.
Well, I am a fox spirit. Hiding myself from humans is like playing hide and seek with a child.
And did I say child again? I don't know, people keep criticizing me for saying child instead of child, even though I hear lots of native English speakers say child. I don't know what their deal is, but apparently that's something I shouldn't do, so let's just say that again.
Is it like playing hide and seek with a child?
Then why didn't you use your hiding skills to hide from the guards?
Oh my god. The game is referencing its own plot points. It's becoming self-aware.
Now that you mention it, the thought never occurred to me. Well, it certainly was fun getting chased by them. Unfortunately, Maiko does not have the best control over her change. She is far too excitable and is unable to maintain the illusion. It is her one magical blind spot.
I'm sure it wouldn't have been fun if the tsundere tyrant hadn't caught you both.
That certainly wouldn't have been an unpleasant experience. Then again, I am sure you would have ended up saving me, wouldn't you, Taka-kun, Tilda?
I noticed a subtle change in Machiko's voice as the sweet sugar-coated words caused my cheeks to flush red. Oh, okay, it was a change in her voice. I don't know, how was I supposed to know there was a change in her voice? Let me take this line again.
I am sure you would have ended up saving me.
Wouldn't you, Taka-kun? Was that enough of a change? I don't know. I should have thought I knew a voice to change too, and beforehand, but I didn't. And fuck you. It doesn't matter. I really wasn't any good at dealing with this girl's flirty attitude. Stepping backwards, I turned towards the stairs at the end of the corridor and replied in a hurried tone,
Maiko-chan is waiting for us.
And with that, I rushed towards the kitchen with Machiko giggling behind me as she followed. Yeah. And yeah, okay, seriously with that. That was like what, a minute in the hallway? Was it really so important to show the hallway? And I don't know. I mean, kitchen is like, sure, you know, I get that, going from bedroom to kitchen, fine. But why did we? I mean, and although I mean, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but it's more like it just highlights all the other times when it feels like there should have been an extra screen and they didn't do the effort. At that point, you know, I don't know, whatever.
Oh, good morning to both of you. I fixed up some eggs and toast for you. There are some oranges too.
I can't quite remember how to do her voice. Whatever. She's the Elvis one, right? I mean, at first you had like the sing-song voice, and then I decided to do an Elvis voice because the older voice were getting boring. But now I can't remember how I even do my Elvis impression. So but this is my best effort, I suppose.
Wonderful. Thank you, little one. You are getting better at this.
To wake up
Knowing a pretty girl like you made my breakfast. It's good to be alive, Tilda. And yeah, again, I said something about him having like two voices, the Weasley voice and the Zep Brannigan voice, but now I can't do my Zep Brannigan impression either. This is a failure of a Let's Play.
Perhaps you would enjoy having one resting by your side as well.
Okay, no, that needs to be more threatening.
Perhaps you would enjoy having one resting by your side as well.
I didn't even remember the previous line. I keep talking between lines. I'm bad at this.
That's a bit overkill, especially considering the condition of that girl. I recall the sight of Machiko and
Wait. I didn't do this. I didn't do the narration in his voice before, but apparently now I do. Whatever.
I recall the sight of Machiko sleeping yesterday, and my cheeks immediately grew red. I quickly sat down at the table, trying to distract myself by changing the subject. So thanks to you two, I learned a little about this world. How about I return the favor and talk about mine? You have anything you want to ask?
Oh, yes, I want to know. What are the spirits like in your world?
Spirits, you say?
I thought about her question for a moment before I replied with a sheepish grin.
Well, in my world, spirits only exist in folk tales.
Fuck, I got hiccups.
They appear in stories and certain religions even worship them, but it's not like we got them running around like they do in this world.
Folk tales? Worship? Your world is strange, Takagun.
Oh, that's kind of boring. What about your life? Are you a defender of your village? You said something about that judo before. What is that?
You mean judo? Well, in my world, people go to this place called school. It's basically a place of knowledge where you learn a lot of things before you're considered an adult in society.
Well, I felt like I had some sort of satirical comment there, but all I'm gonna say is I know plenty of people who have completed their studies, and they're so not adults, you know, or considered adults, and I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing. I hear that Japanese people study a lot better.
But in my world, the defenders are known as the police. They keep things peaceful and such. I'm just a student. I guess you could say that I'm studying to become a defender, not just of my village, but of my whole country.
What, are you planning to be Superman or something? What is this? It was a bit exaggerated, but it felt kind of nice to call myself a defender. No comment there. Yeah.
That sounds weird. It's like the police, like in the army or something, defending the whole nation.
Your world is very strange, Takakun.
Just look at her disapproving face. She is not amused.
I wouldn't call it strange, Munchkin-san. It's this world that's weird, but no, the place is just like the guards in the village. We do have an actual army that defends the country, though.
Oh, by the way, your world sounds like fun, especially if everyone's like you. Anyway, Oh no, oh dang it! These oranges all have worms in them. Ew, only some more. Did you forget to check them again?
Oh, how terrible. I must have been overcome with fatigue and never gotten around to checking them properly.
Well, big old lazy meanie. I'll just have to go out and get some maples instead. Oh.
As Mako went outside to grab some apples, my eyes drifted toward Machiko and her gigantic, very prominently displayed breasts. It's like, seriously, I still don't get these fucking outfits. He was observing me with a content smile, clearly pleased with something. And her face looks... I don't know, there's something that looks very different about this, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. I mean, it's like, and yeah, is this real necessary? Do you really need to push your boobs up even more? It's like, for God's sake, like, also, are we back in the bedroom? Yes, we're back in the bedroom background scene. I don't know, this just feels weird. Why did you do that? It's like, okay, we dedicated an entire scene to the hallway, but we don't have enough effort to zoom in a bit on the kitchen scene and tilt that. No, we'll have to do the bedroom, and because I can't remember now if this is a reuse of a previous time when they zoomed in a bit and tilted the bedroom scene. Maybe they do that later in the game, but this game confuses me.
It's such a relief to see her in such a good mood. It has been a tough few months, I must admit. She has been upset that her magical skills have not been progressing as fast as they once did.
We all have our ups and downs, especially when it comes to studying. I still remember how we used to dread exams, so little time for judo. It made me rather sad at times. Luckily, I always had internet porn to ease the pain.
I kind of stumbled on that improvisation. I suck at this. I should stop telling it I suck at this. It probably stopped being funny a long time ago. If it was ever funny at all, I don't think it was ever funny at all. Also, I just noticed. Well, this is something I noticed before, but didn't really address. Is that, good God, the glow on these people's skin is like. I mean, I know it's common in a lot of anime and lots of kind of art styles that have just kind of shiny skin. It's like, alright, it's a thing that you do, but it's like this. It's just, it's not really the intensity of the shininess. It's rather like the contrast, this very obvious kind of red outline on this whitish whatever. You know, it stops kind of look like shine, and sometimes it looks more like burn wounds or something. I don't know, there's just something really weird about it. And now, the more I stare at it, the less it looks like actual shine. Now it just looks like objects. It's like she's got burn wounds with little plasters put on. And so then I have to question, lady, how the hell did you burn your boobs?
That does sound rather stressful. Tell me, Takakun, what is that you study? I am intrigued by the school notion.
Well, my situation is a bit different from most. While I go to school like everyone else, I actually aim to become an athlete. To explain it in a way you'd understand, an athlete is someone who practices a certain sport.
You know, considering just, you know, they have the same languages, the likeliness that she wouldn't, I mean, even if she wouldn't know the concept of what an athlete does in your world, that word might still very much be a thing. And it's like they had athletes in the past, you know. I am assuming this world is basically just Japan's mythological folklore-ish past. You know, they had athletes in the past. You would probably know that word, you know. Why don't you explain what a kitchen is next?
I mean,
okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted myself, but I just say things. Thoughts come into my head, and I immediately have to oralize them. Is that even the right word? That is not the right word. Why did I just say oralize? What is wrong with me? But I mean, she knew like what the army was, but not what the police was. And, you know, it's kind of this is a problem in quite a lot of like fantasy words. Is that the lines at which they know certain words and don't know other words is often really kind of weird. But whatever.
An athlete is someone who practices a certain sport, and those who are amongst the best end up representing their country.
Also, it's like, yeah, an athlete is someone who practices a sport. Yeah, so does she know what a sport is? You know? You're not gonna explain the term sport, because, you know, if someone knows what a sport is, they probably know what an athlete is. You know, it's kind of like knowing what food is, but not what a cook is, you know? I don't know, I'm overthinking it.
I have an upcoming tournament that will decide whether or not I will be able to represent my country in judo.
I think I understand. Your focus is on your strength, while still gathering knowledge to allow yourself a multitude of options. An interesting method. I should thank you.
I guess you could say it like that, but why thank me?
I believe that your sudden appearance in our world has a lot to do with Maiko's newfound joy. I can hear her singing, something I have not heard in weeks.
Weeks, man! Weeks!
It warms my heart to see her so overjoyed, and I believe it is because of you. Thank you, Takakun.
I doubt that's the only reason, but you're welcome.
I smile bashfully. Bashfully? This thing has a weird thing when it comes to word choices. I don't know. I smiled bashfully at Machiko before continuing.
Then again, I should also thank you busting my rear out of jail. And also, despite, the very prominent tits on display all the time, I mean, okay, yeah, no, it's not, like, full-on nudity. It doesn't show nipples or anything, but still, it's kind of arbitrary, It really feels like this game was mostly made for one reason, And that reason is tits, But despite tits, they seem to be very restrained with the word choices, It's like rare and dang it. It's like, come on. What? It's just kind of weird balance, I just don't get. I don't want to think about what I should have been doing if I was still in the care of the Tsundere tyrant. I still don't get that. Whatever.
You are most welcome. But please, do not be so hard on Mute-chan. There are many things here beyond her control. But perhaps it is out of our hands for now. I still wish to thank you, Takakun Tilde. I have been wondering how I might repay you for bringing such joy to Maiko-chan.
Repay me?
For a moment, my thoughts drifted towards a certain idea. But my cheeks quickly turned scarlet red at the first thought. Scarlet red? I think I complained about this. I think I already spent like a couple of minutes in the last video complaining about how scarlet red seems oddly specific and probably not the entirely right color for, black button. So I think I already did that, so I'm just gonna skip for now, even though I did kind of address it. Anyway, whatever. I couldn't ask something like that of her.
I'm not sure I have anything in mind. I think your smile is enough.
Yeah, look at her smile. Look how she looks completely stoned, just drifting off into thin air. Her eyes pointing in different directions. Yeah, that smile, that is a smile to kill for. Also, there's something going on with my accent. It just keeps like all over the place,
You're a true gentleman, Takakun. It's a shame, though. I was thinking of such naughty things, too.
There's something about this. I mean, I of course do this whole thing kind of jokingly, giving them all manly voices and shit, but just consider this whole kind of story and reversing the gender of everyone. If you had a young girl being thrust into this situation and all these pervy dudes perving all over her, it's kind of a double standard that. Just imagine. Wouldn't that be pretty creepy, that situation? Just with these words and everything. I don't know, it's just... I don't know, man. I mean, this goes for plenty of stories, It's also almost a bit of fun you can have. Just whatever, just take some story and consider how it would change depending if you change all the genders. It's just just food for thought, food for thought. Make a party game out of it or something. The fox-spirit giggled to herself as she turned towards the garden, watching Micah struggle to descend from one of the trees with an armful of apples. Also, you're not supposed to pick apples from trees. I don't think... I mean, okay, don't quote me on this, but if I remember correctly, is that the apples fall when they are ripe. That's kind of the thing. When an apple is ripe, it has enough weight to fall, And then, of course, if an apple lays on the ground for a long time, it'll go bad. But you're not supposed to, like, pluck apples. They won't be ripe. You should... well, the thing is, I think you, like, shake trees or whatever, shake the branches to see which ones fall down. And if they do fall down, that means they're ripe. But you're not supposed to, like, actually pick them. I think, again, don't quote me on this, but, I don't know, just pick up apples from the ground, you idiots. Stop exerting yourself, you unlazy bastard. I am the laziest, least motivated person in the world, and I find it offensive that other people have more energy than me to do things.
Michael-chan, there are only 3 of us. Your belly does not count for a 4th person. If you try to claim that one more time, I'm sorry, but I will have to send you off to the loony bin.
Speaking of a 4th person, it sounded like you two used to talk a lot with the spirit at the shrine. Why do you get so nervous whenever this Yuri is involved? Also, just, I keep interrupting myself between every fucking line. I know, I probably should just get on with it. I think I started this video out saying that I was gonna try to make things a bit more fast-paced this time, but I am getting so fucking sick of this music. Holy shit. Also, sound volume. Are there sounds in this game? I can't remember. I don't know, maybe it just makes clicking sounds or something, but good god, this repetitive fucking music. I should probably just turn it... I should just turn my own volume down and don't need to turn it down in the game itself. But yeah, no, still I felt like I need to address this. This music is so goddamn repetitive. I talked about this in the last video too, I know, but still.
Yeah!
Or is that a skeleton? Yeah! I could read this latest skeleton. No, I don't do a good enough skeleton. I could try. No, I'm not gonna try. Well, now I'm ambivalent. Try and do this as a skeleton and embarrass myself if it's really bad, or just fuck it, I've talked about this too long.
That's not important. Or is that a giant bird carrying the seed of the world tree? Oh, maybe it is. I should go and...
Okay, no, that voice is shit. Maybe, yeah, and also it's like I should reserve some voices for some other characters, because sure, at some point I'm gonna run out of voices. I think I'm having a brain collapse, aneurysm or something. Maybe it is. I should go and...
And you already don't know... Wait,
No, I'm confusing. No, now I'm confused. Now I'm confused. Well, I am sure I am very confusing as well. But now I am confused. Okay, it's like, yeah. Okay, I guess Suri just entered. Couldn't they establish that in the text? Couldn't they just said, suddenly, Suri entered? I mean, I guess it's kind of implied, but for a moment there I was really confused, and you probably noticed that, especially considering that I just said that, oh, I'm so very confused right now.
Suri
Don't know, again with the fucking suffixes, I don't know all these goddamn Japanese honorifics, there are so many of them.
Thank you for visiting us today. Machiko-san is right over there.
Ah, Zuri. No, I'm sorry. I have just been terribly busy. Please forgive me, Zuri-sama.
Whoa, to think you'd get that flustered. Is she that amazing of a person?
Or what, she didn't... Wait, no, she didn't enter. I'm like... Or did he just pretend that... Okay, I guess he was just fucking with her. Okay, I think it... See, it really was more confusing than I... At first I thought it was confusing, and then I decided it wasn't as confusing as I initially thought, but then I realized that it was as confusing as I originally thought.
You don't understand. It is complicated. There are certain skills that I, as a fox spirit, possess. Is that a way of talking or acting that influence how people perceive me? I'm actually a 50-year-old bald sweaty dude, but I influence you just to perceive me in the way you wish to see me. I automatically appeal to your ideals, you know. I just hope you don't perceive me as some sort of, you know, busty sex object or something.
Oh, yeah, about that.
I thought that would be a kind of a funny improvisational, just kind of riff thing to do, but then I just sucked at it. I'm sorry, I was gonna explain something, but I got distracted by this goddamn color thing. What is up with this? It's like, on this side it's 2 spikes, on that side it's, well, 3, but you know, these 2. But here it's just 1. I'm like, what is... this one is, you can't really see, but it seems to be 2 on both, but just... What is, no, wait, no, what is with this? It's like this thing that's 6, it looks like this one is like going behind that one. But that one is only the 2. So what, is this one just added on? What is with this stupid fucking asymmetrical thing? I'm pissed off. Yeah, this is just like that time I complained about the tartan.
I suppose they should be considered social skills, but for spirits, Zero is capable of completely negating these, and it leaves me feeling rather nervous and helpless.
I see. So basically she's immune to your flirting and...
Connecting the dots in my mind, I planted the palm of my hand against my forehead. So you face palmed. Couldn't you just say, I face palmed? I don't know, maybe... Yes, that's exactly what I think they were doing.
Now I get it. You are afraid of approaching her because this Sierra is a bigger flirt than you. But if she's flirting with you... that would be... yeah, I see. You swing that way.
Okay, I'm sorry, that wasn't funny. For some reason, I suddenly felt rather disappointed. Newsflash! Bisexuals exist! And she has clearly proven to have some sort of interest in you. You idiot.